It's Tamara, aka Grammy in the Wild, and here we are at Copper Breaks. It is Sunday, January 4th, and it's about 63 degrees, perfect weather to get out and do some hiking. I just wanted to bring you guys along, and let's see what we can find today. Here we are at the Rocky Ledges Trail. We're at Copper Break State Park, which is located just outside of Quanah, Texas. It's a beautiful, rugged area with, as you can see, lots of brush, lots of gypsum. Nice rugged trails. It's a great place to come camp. It's part of the Dark Skies. You come out here, and when you camp, especially when you camp up top, which is near Big Pond, it's like you're in the middle of the Milky Way. It's absolutely gorgeous. They have an equestrian campsite. You can bring your horses out and ride the trails. They also have a nice RV camping area. They have tent camping, and they also have a primitive camp where you can hike in and carry all your things. That is one thing that I want to do. That's going to be on my list for this summer. Right now we're going to go to the Rocky Ledges Trail. I've hiked this one before. It's a little bit of a challenge. It's got some rocky ledges, just like it says. So we're going to head out on this one and get up on the bluff where we can overlook the Pease River. Coming through some of the twists and turns on the trail, some of the animals you might see. We have roadrunners, lizards, there's the coyotes, there are bobcat, raccoons and skunks, of course. And, of course, always watch out for the rattlesnakes. The best time for me to be out here hiking, I don't have to worry as much, is during the fall, winter, and the early spring, when the rattlesnakes are still in their dens. They haven't quite warmed up enough to come out. But I have come across a couple of rattlesnakes out here, and as long as I give them their distance, they go their way and I go mine, we don't have a problem. There are several washouts like this through the park, but along this trail, this is pretty much the trickiest part. You have to climb up that little ledge there to go across the top to continue to where you get to see the beautiful views. It's not too hard, just a little tricky. So I'm going to scamper up here and head on. Look at all that erosion. One thing about it out here, wherever you hike, you have to make sure you know where your feet are. A lot of these ledges up here are hanging way over. And you never know when one of these overhangs is going to collapse. Pretty straight. Someone's made this a little easier by putting a rock here. Gives me a little step. Still kind of a step. Woo! Made it. I'm going to share these videos with people who think that, you know, if you're in your 50s or older, that you can't do this stuff. Well, the truth of it is, if you keep exploring, you never get old. So that is my goal in life, to keep exploring and never get old. Being out here on the trails just regenerates my energy. I don't know, I can't get enough of it. Okay, time to take a break. Found the perfect little ledge to sit on. Grab a drink of water. Be sure to always bring plenty of water. currently Copper Break State Park has low water. So you can refill here, but some of these trails are pretty long, so you want to make sure you have plenty to take with you. Okay, I'm going to do a little off-roading. We're going to go off here to give you a sneak peek of what I think is the main attraction on this trail. Look at that view. The riverbed you see is the Pease River. And as you can see, there's not much water in there at this moment. We need some good heavy rains. Okay, now off we go for the main attraction. You know you're getting close when you see the warning sign. Sudden drop-off. Straight down, any way you go. Boy, it's a pretty day. Overcast, but warm. Hard to believe it's January. Okay, here we go. First big step. I do use a walking stick when I'm on the trail. I started out about a year ago and found that it makes it quite a bit easier when you need to brace yourself. Whoa, almost tripped on that. Love this beautiful red dirt. Okay, and here we go. On this narrow little piece of land that juts out. It gives you the perfect view. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it's a pretty good ways down off the top of this. And here you see the perfect view of the river. It's absolutely gorgeous. Some of my future explorations are going to be along the Pease River. I plan to go in both directions from where it is in Wilbarger County, where it actually passes under Highway 287. I've been out there many times fishing, and I've done some hiking there with a friend, and plan on going back and seeing what else there is to find. From the back side here, you can see the dam also. What a perfect way to spend a Sunday out in God's country. Okay, and down we go. When we get to the bottom and I find a good spot to sit and have a snack, I'll tell you a little bit more about myself, what my plans are for this channel, and let you know, of course, I need your input. So if there are any places that you think I need to go and enjoy, hike, camp, fish, just explore, be sure to let me know in the comments. You see here, you can off-road just a bit. This is one thing that when you off-road, you have got to be careful of. This is living soil. There are microorganisms in there. And it takes several hundred to thousands of years for this stuff to grow. And if you tromp on it, you're destroying it. So you want to be sure to avoid walking through this. Oh, looks like I found the perfect place to sit and have a nice little snack. Well, as I sit here and get ready to have my little snack, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I am 50-plus-year-old Grammy, born and raised in Texas. I have a total of 10 grandbabies right now and one on the way. I wanted to make this channel so that I could share some of my adventures. To let people know that just because you're over 50 doesn't mean you have to sit in a rocking chair or just sit around and do crossword puzzles or whatever. You can get out and you can enjoy the countryside. I enjoy camping, hiking. I like to fish. I just like to be outdoors. Any chance that I get, I'm going to go out and I'm going to enjoy it outside. If it's not pouring rain or snowing, it's always a good day to get out and go see something new. So, some of the things that I would like to do this year, starting 2026, just kick off my channel, I have a list of places that I want to go. Some of the places I go, I'm going to be taking my grandchildren with me. Unfortunately, not all of them live close enough for me to be able to take them on adventures, but the ones who do are going to come along with me, and we're going to go see some things. We're going to go to there is a lake in Oklahoma where you can go dig selenite crystals. So we're going to go there. I believe it's called the Great Salt Lake. I could be wrong on that, though. I have camped there before, and I did do some digging last year on my own. And I thought, oh, the grandkids are going to love this. So I plan to take them there. Another thing I'd like to do is go to, there's some places here in Texas where you can go pay to dig for arrowheads and artifacts and things like that. And that's something else I'd like to do. I went to Primitive Camp, and I'll share my adventures with that. I do a lot of camping, so I'm not afraid to do it by myself. I have never had any issues. I like to go places where it's secluded, out away from people, but I don't mind sharing a campsite with other people also. Usually campers are some really friendly, super people. But there are a lot of things that I'd like to do. I want to find a good place to zip line. Eventually, I want to go to Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, explore out there. I would love to see some of the cliff dwellings and be able to walk and hike up there. And I watch a lot of videos where other people are doing this, and it's just something that is on my bucket list, something that I would love to do. I don't have a lot of money, so the thing is, I like to be frugal. Places that I go, usually campsites are pretty cheap, and instead of staying at a fancy hotel or a cabin or something like that, I enjoy tent camping. I have a really good setup right now where I have a super soft cot. I'm not sleeping on the ground. That is one thing. The older you get, the less you want to sleep on the ground. It's really hard to get up in the morning. I'll share some tips along the way, things that I've found that make it a little bit easier. And as you get older, you do need some of those tips. You need to take some shortcuts. So come along with me, and I'm going to share some fun, share my grandkids, Sure, some amazing sights. I can't wait to get going. 2026 is going to be an awesome year, and I can't wait to get it started. Come with me. All right, after a nice snack, we're back on the trail. These breaks are actually some of the most pretty country that I've been around. I just love the rugged land. I've been to the pine forests out in East Texas. I stayed at the Atlanta State Park there, and it was absolutely beautiful. It was a totally different experience what I'm used to, because you're surrounded by all the trees, and it's just, you can't see. It can be a little claustrophobic for a girl who's used to having these wide vistas. You can see for miles and miles here. But I just love to see the different terrain. Look at the top up there, you can see there's a big crack that's going to end up coming down after a big heavy rain. The red dirt here really makes these quartz crystals stand out, and the gypsum also. I was lucky enough to find an arrowhead here a couple of years ago, but because it is prohibited, it stayed where I found it. I will insert a picture. I took 2 photos and put it back exactly where I found it. At that time, I didn't have a GPS locator, but I did advise some of the people up at the ranger station that I'd found it. That was a really neat thing. There weren't any Native American permanent settlements here that I'm aware of. This was basically a place where people came through to gather medicinal herbs, and also to follow the buffalo. There was a winter camping ground along the Pease River, and there's actually a historical marker there marking the recapture of Cynthia Ann Parker, who as a little girl was captured by the Comanche. And then there was the Battle of the Pease River that happened there, where the U.S. cavalry actually found her, captured her, and their battle ensued. You have to look into this story. It's very sad, but it's part of our history in this part of the country. And now we are at the end of the Rocky Trail. We head down and see what else we can get into. Thank you so much for coming along. Here's a closer look at the lake copper breaks. Hopefully next time that we're out here, it'll be all the way up to the top of the banks. See you on the next adventure.